I've been first place in the best of ones and finished fifth, and I've seen Mad Lions finish eighth and win the entire split. So I think like now is the time that we need to step up our game, and we will see who the best teams are now in the playoffs.
Hi guys, this is Pedro and I'm back with a brand new interview. I'm here accompanied by Carter, the coach for Team Vitality, following the end of the regular season of the 2024 LEC Winter Split, where they finished with a 4-5 record, thus progressing them forward to the playoff portion of the competition. And so, Carter, once again, thank you so much for taking the time. I just want to start off this whole conversation by just covering what went down in that final game against Mad Lions, where you guys went down on the last day of the season. So, how did you view the team's performance against Mad Lions?
Yeah, I think we had a really strong early game, and I loved the adaptations we made in level one, and being able to take Xin Zhao's second spawn of his camps, and Bran was really far ahead. We stacked the dragons despite the laning phases not going so well, and we generated a really good lead. And after that, I think we fell apart a bit when we were trying to contest the objectives later on, playing around Dragon Soul and Baron. And for me, even though we lost, I think this was or is going to be a really great learning experience heading into playoffs. And I'd rather that we make these mistakes now than learn about them in playoffs.
Although the result is still fresh, fresh on the minds and also, just fresh off of the players' minds as well. You mentioned about the team's difficulties and taking objectives and you just trying to cover the macro level of the game. And why do you think that that was the case for this team for this match?
Well, I mean, we're going to go back and watch the film together. I have a lot of ideas, as does my coach Pad with me. Um, but I will save that for the team and the preparation for our next match in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's the end of a week for Vitality and thus yourself as well, in which you guys took down Heretics in yesterday, and then before that losing to SK. So, um, when it comes to looking at the team's performance for the week, what do you feel was the biggest positive and negative that you saw from the team and its players, be it like synergy, communication, um, coordination, playing, taking objectives, whatever aspect?
I think what's important for us as a new team is that especially with each stage game that we are learning and getting takeaways from those stage games. And I think from the first day, going into the Heretics match, we already made changes there, and we've improved again, although we lost today, especially like in the early game. um, so it's just what's important is that we learn from those matches, and I think all my players are doing a really good job. They're hungry to learn more, to try and figure out how they play with each other and the best way to win together. And I'm really happy about that because um, we're all aligned and we're all in this together. And I really feel that with our group. So I wouldn't pinpoint any negatives. The games that we lost, we can take a lot of good things away from them and work on them for the playoffs.
Yeah, and now that we've been able to have a good amount of games now played for this team, I'm kind of curious on how you view the team's current progression since the start of the winter split. Now that you guys have been able to play all the rest of the entire league at least once so far, and so how do you view the current level of the team in its current iteration compared to how it was, back in summer? Because of course, you guys finished in dead last. So how do you view nowadays, the current level compared to how it was back then?
I mean, we're a new team. We have four different members. Oh, the lights are going. Um, uh, so I think I don't think about last year. I'm just focused on now and our current team and the guys that we have now because we have a fresh team. We have new coaches coming in as well. So it's a totally different team dynamic, and we're not thinking about last year. Um, and as for now, obviously 4-5 is not the perfect record by no means, and we have a lot of areas that we can improve on, and I think that's a good thing that we know what we need to work on in playoffs, and by no means we're under the illusion that we're a perfect team. We're not, and that's great. We just need to be ready for playoffs. That's the important thing. I think that you can see that from the previous splits as well. In the current format, that the like 9 best-of-1 games don't matter that much. I've been first place in the best of ones and finished fifth, and I've seen Matt Lyons finish eighth and win the entire split. So I think like now is the time that we need to step up our game, and we will see who the best teams are now in the playoffs.
I'm curious on how you have adjusted your coaching, as you said, in light of the new people that came into the team for this year, not just in the player department, but also on the coaching department. Because as you said, you have new colleagues. As a coach, the lights went out again.
I
um,
don't know what's going on. I don't know.
all right. Going back to the questions. How have you adjusted your coaching as a result of having new faces getting into the team, both on the player and also on the coaching department?
Yeah, it's been really great bringing Mac and Pat in into the team. They are championship winners, multiple championship winners with lots of experience going to worlds, and I can really learn from them, and I can grow as a coach, and I think that's like a for me. I feel very privileged to be in this position and to be able to get better each day and learn from them and um, take take some of their knowledge as well, and it's been a great start.
What kind of feedback would they give to you? You know, given that they've been people that have won the LEC on numerous occasions.
What type of feedback? Let's go win some more.
It's got to be more than just that, right?
Well, maybe I'll tell you next time.
All right, then I'll make sure to send that request for next week just so I can have a follow up on that kind of
Okay.
thing. But now
Okay.
focusing on the players aspect, how have you adjusted your coaching to then, you know, um, teaching them your way of playing League of Legends? Because of course, you had Carsey for a little while, I believe, possibly in the past, and also Vithio for a moment. You can correct me if I'm wrong, right over there. But still, how have you adjusted your coaching on the player department?
Yeah, so I hadn't coached Kazi before, but I knew him from playing against him like in solo queue and previously in tournaments. Um, and VTO, we were together for 2 years, and I think that together we were very successful. So it's been great to be reunited with VTO. Um, and my other experience I had 1 year with Photon, and we had a few weeks with Douglas. Um, I mean, I think that what's important as a coach is not necessarily um, telling the guys exactly how they should play every scenario. It's more about how they need to play together, and I think that's been one of the big focuses so far.
And I have a few more questions to ask. I think one more. Um, I'll make it a two-part. Of course, with the recent draw that just came out of the team, you guys are going to be placed in the same group as BDS, SK, and also Team Heretics. And so, what are your thoughts on just those opponents and on the come up, and what's your mentality like for the rest of the team in the lead up to the next phase of the split?
Yeah, so I think we have some good teams in our bracket. BDS especially, they've been really dominant in the regular season. They seem to know exactly what they want to play and how they want to play. Um, Unfortunately, they had a tough loss today against K-Corp, but they've been a great team, and we see that from our scrims and from our official games against them. And I think especially they're a bit scary because Darius and Garen are getting buffed. So it's prime time for Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And then SK, we played them this week, and they're a great team with a lot of good individual players. I think they're well coached as our BDS, and I think Niski's been like a really like shining light for them. He's been playing well, so I think these teams are good, and we're going to have to step up our game to beat them. But I'm confident that we will be able to do that.
And hopefully you're able to do exactly that. Carter, once again, thank you so much for taking the time for this interview. Really appreciate it, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.